Are you introing the show, Ryan?
As much shit as I talk about Joe Rogan, it is a Joe Rogan week. Joe Rogan is having the time of his life right now, running the circuit before Election Day.
Yeah, that's right.
He had JD Vance on. He had on the governor of your state, Mr. John, what is it, Redmond or something?
My state?
Yeah, what's the
Josh Shapiro?
What? All right, yeah, whatever guy had a stroke that got replaced by the cyborg copy.
John Fetterman.
Yeah,
he's a senator from my state. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Stroke boy.
The bridge stroke collapsing. Didn't he get like something with a alcohol? Anyways, yeah, Joe Rogan had a thing with Trump, Kamala Harris. It's like Trump week. The fucking Trump rally, the Puerto Rico garbage. It's weird. It's all centered around like a Joe Rogan multiverse. Is I guess what I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing: we got election coming on Tuesday, which will be live. I don't know what time. Should we figure this out? What time do you think we should go live at? 9?
Yeah, we'll go 9.
9:30. We'll go a few hours, or if they call it, but they're not going to call it until.
They're not going to call it. We'll probably be up till like 1, I'd imagine.
We might play some predictions later in this episode. Right?
I had that down on my.
See, this is
bingo board.
When Ryan starts the show, it's chaos. It's chaos. I'm structured, Ryan.
Dave, I started writing things down for the podcast before you did.
Well, you should have wrote your intro down. Here's what's going on. I want to talk about AI because I keep hearing which jobs AI is going to take, and everybody's wrong, except me. Tom Brady's wife. Yes. I want to talk about Tom Brady's wife. I want to do other things to Tom Brady's wife, but I want to talk about Tom Brady's wife. Autism rates. Ryan would like to talk about autism, which is
the tizzies.
Well, half of our viewers. Trump and Cheney. This is
half of our viewers and half of our production is autistic.
Well, to no fault of their own. You know, their parents got them jabbed up when they were young, and one in like 3 have autism now.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Completely
Trump
normal.
And Cheney. Trump's under fire for things he said about Cheney. I want to get into that. Jewish space lasers are back. We're going to talk about those.
Jewish space lasers. Sharks with laser beams, David.
The squirrel that was heard around the world. We're going to talk about that.
Oh, I don't even know about this, but I heard about it, David.
The election, well, very similar to the
election is going to come down to fucking squirrels, bro. It's going to come down to squirrels and alligators. It's a Buffalo connection, ain't it? It's a Buffalo.
The alligator was. I don't know if the squirrel is. And Google owes the Kremlin. I had to look up how to pronounce the number because I've never heard the number before.
It's the greatest story ever.
Undecillion rubles. So that's interesting. Ryan, before we get on the show, I know you kicked off the show, but I'm going to just lay it back to you here. Is there anything you want to say to our autistic listeners? It's okay to be autistic, by the way. It's not no fault of your own.
For the record,
everybody's on the spectrum. The spectrum's so wide.
The thing that I'm most excited for, other than Jewish space lasers, is Tom Brady's wife. So, as always,
autism. The spectrum for autism is like LGBT, where it is now just so wide that everybody is autistic and LGBT. That's how you create unity after you divide everybody. You just
you just got to put straight on the LGBT flag.
Ryan,
are you lesbian, trans, or straight, Dave?
Straight. Ryan, we're going to talk. You want to talk about Tom Brady's wife to kick it off? Is that a kickoff subject?
No.
Jewish space lasers.
Yeah, definitely.
Ryan,
I'm just saying what I was excited for.
Well, Jewish space lasers were a conspiracy theory. And now they're not. So how did they go in 2 months from a conspiracy theory to a unique defense system that they're going to use against attacks?
Dave, you really got to give me a makeup budget out of the podcast because my hair is not quite.
Well, you don't put makeup in your hair, Ryan. You put water in
your hair. The part. Water. Really, water, Dave.
Well, and shampoo.
No hair product? I have no hair product budget here for the...
No, that's not reserved for you.
You can... I bet you use the podcast money to roll that wall red, David.
Ryan, I operate high dollar finances. I am not going to spend all of our budget on hair products.
Dave, you're fucking a mini real estate mogul over there, and you're gonna talk to me.
I just need to know about Jewish space lasers, Ryan. I'll handle the finances and how we allocate our budget, and then you tell me about the Jew. That's how this show works. I do all the financial stuff. I take in all the money. I keep most of it, and then you do all the talking. This is a good strategy.
Dude, in 10 years, we're gonna sell the program for like $100 million, and I'm not gonna own anything in it because Dave will just. No, I gotta figure it out, bud.
I will sell it to the Kremlin for
sell
a bazillion rubles, which probably translates to like $100,000.
Dave, you sent me the article. I don't know exactly what the headline was, but I'll go off like memory. It's something about Israel plans on shooting down, like
missile
rockets or something.
Yeah,
missile
with
lasers.
So right now they have the Iron Dome system, which shoots rockets with rockets, and it works. It's cool.
It's pretty cool.
This space laser, which is a conspiracy theory, is called the Iron Beam. And the laser will shoot the rockets, so then there will be no more use for the rockets.
You should look up the Iron Beam quick, David. Dave, you got to look up the Iron Beam and see where this thing. Just everything. How old is this technology?
It can't be more than a couple weeks because 2 months ago it was conspiracy theory.
Surely, David, the Ronald Reagan connection in Star Wars, right? Like, oh yeah, Ronald Reagan wanted to have Star Wars, and
they said no. Iron Beam. Okay, now you're looking at the Iron Beam
on eBay. I can get one on eBay. Interesting.
Oh, that seems unlikely.
I don't
Iron
know. You
Beam.
Get a fucking flamethrower.
Wiki seems good.
Yeah.
This article is about the Iron Beam weapon
Hebrew.
system.
Hebrew.
It's the Mechin Horror. Shield of Light directed energy weapon air defense system unveiled at the air show February 11th, 2014. Oh. Notably, Ryan, that is 10 years before this year.
The first thing it says is Hebrew. Oh, man.
The system is designed to destroy short-range rockets and is expected to be deployed in 2025. Fiber laser? What the fuck is a fiber laser?
Use lasers to shoot down incoming missiles.
In 2016, laser power levels were reported to be tens of kilowatts. Ryan, I don't know if that's a lot or a little. Kilowatt is like a lot, isn't it?
Well, kilowatts is what they measure your use of electricity on. Kilo means it's small.
Right, so like tens of kilowatts is little bits of power.
Yeah, it would. Well, it's the decimal place. It's the fucking.
Well, that would be a tenth. It's saying tens of. What is a fiber laser? Active gain medium is an optical fiber doped with rare earth elements such as. I don't even know what that is. Holy shit.
Yo, isn't it crazy? It's literally direct energy weapon is like in the title of the fucking.
Oh, dude, it uses an inner Chad and an outer Chad. It's got to be fucking. That's crazy power scale. Dude, this is way beyond my knowing.
Yeah, they definitely don't have UFOs, David, if they just have direct energy weapons. Remember when
multi-wavelength emission, fiber disc lasers? What the fuck is this?
David, my screen still says Iron Beam here. What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, your screen does still say that. Dude, are you serious? When I did this, it opened a new tab.
Oh, Dave. Well, this is just clearly a conspiracy by the government to silence our speech, David.
No, I'm an idiot. I did the wrong tab. Here, I'll bring it on. You see Iron Beam now?
Okay, Iron Beam. In service. Oh, do you see that? Go down to in service here.
In service.
2025 estimate.
Designed in the 2010 to 2015 range.
No, you guys only wait 10 years to use it. Interesting.
Okay, Ryan. So 2 months ago, Iron Beam, space laser, super conspiracy theory. It was designed 10 years ago, and they plan to use it soon. I don't know. I don't know about this.
At a cost of $2 to $5 billion.
Well, think of all the energy savings. It only uses tens of kilowatts. Ryan, what do you
Wonder why they're building so many like solar panels, David? Is it for direct energy weapons?
Do you think people really didn't know this existed? Like, obviously, some people knew it existed, but like the mainstream who was running around calling this conspiracy theory, do you really don't? Do they really not know?
I'm going to tell you this right now. Apparently, to JD Vance on Joe Rogan, us on the internet are more informed than the government officials that are running for president.
I saw JD Vance get mocked before because he said Iron Beam, and they said, "Well, I don't think he doesn't know what he's talking about. You mean the Iron Dome?" And he's like, "No, the Iron Beam. It's a space laser, which is a conspiracy." I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe.
See, look, this is a fucking problem. Okay, like they've had it for 10 years. What was a conspiracy for 10 years? They're gaslighting you into just thinking it's normal. And by nowadays, the people that actually like were like, hey, the military has this technology. All the old people are dead now. All the war veterans are dying. They don't care. It was really the veterans that were keeping the military in check here as far as the, they can just be open now with space lasers, David. They can just openly burn Hawaii because enough of our grandparents died for them to look at us and be like, dude, that's not China spy balloon. That's a United States military balloon. You know what I mean? Like, this is a military tactic. JD Vance on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was asking Vance about like some of the things and how odd some of the assassination attempts were. And JD Vance like looked at Rogan and said, well, you would kind of know better than me. And Rogan looked at him like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, it's like basically you guys in the media know about as much as we do.
That seems, I don't know. That's
scary.
Weird. That's weird to me.
Scary. I mean, I remember the joke I made. I said, fuck it. Nobody thought to like put somebody on the roof. Like I made the joke. I was like, maybe Trump should just employ us to walk around the fucking outskirts and I can like conspiracy lens this. Like literally, that's what we're talking about here. This is
the problem with that whole
Carlson.
situation. The first assassination attempt was. I don't trust anybody. The Secret Service said, well, that should have been locked down by the state police, and the state police are like, well, Secret Service really should have locked that down. So, like, I don't know. Were they not communicating? Did everyone just assume that the president was safe? That seems like that's not accurate.
Dude, I think that's the least of the concern. Like some of the other things with that story are like way worse. I don't even have them off the top of my head, but Rogan, those are things Rogan asked JD Vance about. It's just, and I'm not going to him as like the beacon of truth or whatever, but you would assume the guy running for vice president would have more information about the assassination attempt on his running mate than we would.
You would think so.
Like Alex Jones, how right was Alex Jones?
About what specifically? I mean, he's right about a lot of shit.
That's what I'm saying. It was more of like a metaphor of like, like I said, Tucker Carlson thought that the government was all fucking dogs and rainbows and puppy dogs and fucking cats and could pet them. And
well, it's scary to me how many people on the right, and I don't know if a lot of them are waking up, but certainly enough of them are waking up. But like,
this is the
how many old school conservatives just think like, take your pick, people in power, they're just dumb. That's my favorite one. To me, that's my most hated conspiracy theory, is that people in power are dumb. They're not dumb. They're all doing this on purpose. Everything that's bad is done on purpose. It's not because like, oh shit, they didn't go back to the assassination attempt. They weren't bad at their job. It wasn't locked down on purpose.
Just government incompetence, David.
You're telling me nobody knows how to lock down a rally? Like, oh, this High Point fucking football field away. Don't worry about that. It wasn't people being bad at their job. It was done on purpose.
I mean,
to what extent were they involved? I don't know. Were they involved in the whole thing? Did they know there was going to be somebody coming? Did they invite him there? Like that's how. To me, it's not the conspiracy theory. It's how deep in the conspiracy theory do you want to go? Like, you can go pretty far down the rabbit hole, and things can be true to a point, and sometimes they're true all the way to the end. So, take the conspiracy theory of the first Trump assassination, where it wasn't incompetence; it was done on purpose, right? Well, it was done on purpose. It was done on purpose. They knew somebody was going to be there, but they didn't know to what degree of the threat was going to be. It was done on purpose, but they knew who the shooter was. It was done on purpose, but they handpicked the shooter to go on the roof. Like, to what degree is it a conspiracy theory?
Well, it's a conspiracy to get Trump elected, clearly, David. He planned to get shot by a bullet at 100 yards and just trusted himself to turn at the last second, graze his ear.
I don't know. I don't know what degree it is. Maybe they thought he was just going to get on the roof, and I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, how far can it down a conspiracy rabbit hole can you go? Who sent him? Who told people to stand down? These things, these questions matter.
I mean, there might not even have to have been a stand down. I
But-
mean, in
well,
reality, I mean, that's the problem, honestly, with a lot of this communication, and we rely so heavily on digital verification or anything. You can probably just walk right through a lot of these barriers that we have because everybody's waiting for the fucking confirmation via, like, nobody's doing in-field investigations or like real-time analyzing crimes in real time. You know,
Well,
like
just
maybe they're just
look at
not
the
trained to
the
be
third
basically detect.
assassination attempt was just a Trump fan who was armed because he's a Trump guy. He has guns.
Well, once again, maybe he feels obligated to like protect his fucking nomination. I mean, people died that went to his rally. They got hit with the bullets.
Yeah. And then I said this I said this to Ryan the other day, but like, what Alex Jones got sued $1.5 billion for, all these people saying that the Trump assassination attempt, that the man who died, it was all fake and staged. Like, where's their $1.5 billion lawsuits? Is that not the
Well,
same? Is it not the same thing? Like, what's different? Because Alex Jones had a show. So if you have a bigger audience, you can be sued for more money. Like, what do we? It's the same degree of violation. I don't understand.
well, clearly, David. I mean, that's why Russia must be suing Google, right? Because they just have so much money.
Google. I should bring this up because I don't remember the specifics of it. I just know that
It's
the
craziest
headline
shit I've ever seen.
the headline was that Google owes Russia 2 undecillion rubles. Don't know the
It's like
translation on
23
that.
zero, like 23 zeros or something. 1 billion.
It's a lot. Google owes Russia.
Pay up, Google. Where's my money?
Let's see what we can find here, Ryan. Oh my god. It's funny seeing the headline because they write all the zeros out. Hold on. Hold on. There it is.
There it is.
Russia finds Google. Somehow that's 2 undecillion. I don't know. Yeah. Oh my god. It's a lot of zeros. I'm not sitting here and counting it. Russia is seeking an unfathomable sum of money. 36 zeros.
Decillion.
Undecillion. It's 2 followed by
20.
36 zeros.
20 billion, trillion.
So Google refused to pay fines that are now just accruing for blocking pro-Russia channels on YouTube.
All right. Seems fair.
The
Well, if you got-
virtually unpronounceable penalty. No, it's pronounceable. I did it. Oh, so 20 decillion and 2 undecillion are the same. 20 billion trillion. Hold on. So wait, is that the equivalent? Oh no, has market value around 2 trillion.
110 trillion.
110 trillion according to the International Monetary Fund figures. World gross domestic product looks modest in comparison. Holy shit.
Google's only worth $2 trillion. No worries. Tax the rich, Dave.
Holy fuck. Is Google worth okay, Alphabet, which owns Google, but like Google's get fucked. I don't want any of this shit. Get out of here with your nightcap.
Nightcap.
Nobody wants your fucking nightcap. Alphabet has a market value of $2 trillion. That's crazy. Russian state media TASS reported this week at a Russian court. Google was ordered to restore the YouTube channels. So this is an interesting. Obviously, Google doesn't give a shit what Russia has to say, but like, what's interesting about this is like, to what degree does Google have to follow this? Like Russia, like what can Russia do if Google doesn't pay? Send in the military at Google? Like in all seriousness, like what can Russia do?
I don't know. Does it even say?
I can look. Russia seems like they have no leg to stand. Like,
we do not believe that these ongoing legal matters will have a material
I think the only
effect on earnings. Following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Google curtailed operations in the country, but stopped short of pulling out altogether. In contrast to several American tech companies, many of their services, including search and YouTube, continue to be available in the country. Months after the invasion, Google's Russian subsidiary filed for bankruptcy.
I think that's it.
Paused on most of the commercial comments.
So it seems like the only thing Russia can do is just pull out of Google, but like, will they really do that?
Well, is it interesting that they actually did file bankruptcy of their subsidiary in Russia?
Go start your own Google, Russia. See how that works out for you. That's what we get told. Oh, just go start your own Facebook. Oh, yeah. We started Parler. Excellent news. Oh, well, we shut your servers down.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Dave, well, go get your own servers.
They'll build them and nuke them and say that Russia's trying to build a parallel economy and a breakaway fucking economy.
I think people underestimate what Rumble has done, honestly. Shout out to
Rumble fucked everything up. They didn't anticipate this. You know what's funny is like people like Timcast and stuff. I don't know what he has said over the course of Rumble's existence, but they laughed at it. Ben Shapiro's on Rumble, people. Dave Rubin's on Rumble.
They have to be. But the thing that bothers me about that, like Tim Pool on Rumble,
it's not to make money, for the record.
Well, the thing that bothers me about them being on Rumble is that they use them like a backup plan. Like, get on board or get fucked. Like, I like, and don't get me wrong, like, we're on YouTube and stuff too, but like, you can tell the way their videos are, the content of their videos, they're clearly censored to some degree for YouTube because they want to be on the bigger platform.
It's self-censorship.
So you can see who gives a shit if they're on YouTube or not. Like, there's people who are on both, whatever, that's fine. But you can tell who really doesn't give a shit if they get kicked off YouTube. That you can tell. It's obvious. Like, we clearly couldn't give a fuck if YouTube tells us to fuck ourselves.
We tried. I tried being nice.
We tried playing the YouTube game. Like, I'd love to.
What do you mean you can't call the governor a cunt on the internet, David? What are you talking about?
Did you call the governor a cunt?
Yeah, cunty Hochul.
She's a little cunty. That's fair.
Hey, David, I didn't have a Chinese spy working in my office.
You don't have an office.
I'm gonna. Don't have it. I'd have an office, David, if I got my fair share. Tax the rich, Dave. I want 1.5 of your houses. That's only fair.
my basements, you mean?
Yo, did you hear Bernie defending his wealth about being a millionaire? Did you hear?
Well, whatever.
He was asked on Lex Friedman.
Everyone knows. I mean, he was running around screaming about millionaires, billionaires until he was a millionaire, and then it was just billionaires.
Just billions. Billions can't buy Bernie.
Everyone's pointed that out, but it's true.
Yeah. And then billions can't buy Bernie, but George Soros funded his campaign. Billionaire.
Well, he's running around yelling about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is buying Trump votes. We need Citizen United. It's like, well, hold on. I seem to remember billionaires funding your campaigns too.
Yeah, George Soros is buying up local radio stations right now. Completely not buying. Billionaires not funding foreign elections. Jeff Bezos
Well,
runs a
at least he's
fucking
not buying
newspaper.
DAs, Ryan.
Remember when Bloomberg, the guy running for president, owned a newspaper?
That's right.
Yeah, he was Republican, right, David?
What about Bezos?
Washington Post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Has he come out and supported a candidate? Taylor Swift came out and said she'd vote Kamala.
That's interesting. She's a billionaire, isn't she, Ryan?
Yeah. Did he? I wonder who's Diddy voting for.
Tom Brady's wife. What's up with Tom Brady's wife?
She's knocked up. Do you remember when I came on here and said, yeah, she was sucking off some other guy?
Sure.
And then we caught her sucking off another guy.
Well, we didn't catch her. Actually, we didn't actually catch her. Just to be clear,
I caught her, David. I said she was sucking off another guy, and then 3 months later, how's the guy getting sucked off?
Ryan's like, I knew it. I knew it. He's looking down. I fucking called it.
Yeah, I caught you. Husband, yeah, he may be the goat, but I'm goated right now.
Spit on it.
You got mascara
on. Tom Brady's wife, ex-wife. She's
knocked up. She's knocked up by the.
But she's
the yoga
contemplating.
What did she say? She's not going to be able to get an abortion because Trump's winning, or what?
Hold on, didn't the headline you sent me say something about the fact that she's
putting her career on hold?
Decision to make or something? Yeah.
Yeah, putting her career on hold. And I told Dave that she did not want to get pregnant. She was like, "I'm free. I'm not bound by children." Holy fuck! Look at this guy.
What career is on hold because she's pregnant?
Dude, she's a
what does she do for a living?
She owns businesses that make a lot of money.
Businesses. You can't own businesses when you're pregnant?
Well, clearly can't report on the news if you're having a child.
Let's see this. I thought she was.
I fucking hate Timcast. I hope we just get to go down there and talk to him, and we can hammer this out live on the air. Because the shit he does just pisses me off. I just can't. I cannot allow this guy to just operate a space and just live like this.
Hold on, I'm gonna see.
Must wait for the facts. She owns a makeup company.
You can't own it. She can very easily still own. In entertainment industry, what's entertaining about her?
She was listed as the 89th most powerful woman in the world
for being attractive.
Women say the world is ran by patriarchy.
The horse walk. She's credited with pioneering the horse walk, a stomping movement created by a model lifting her knees high and kicking her feet. Yeah, she sure is.
I love that they got her in a 2015 photograph there.
We're not going to do anything recent. She's way past her. Way beyond her years.
DiCaprio was up in the guts, huh? Oh, that's weird. Dated her when she was 20. How interesting. And left her at 25. How interesting.
Acting debut.
There you go. That's right after
continued
DiCaprio.
success.
Right there, 06.
That's an 11. Present. Okay. Music endeavors. Holy fuck.
5,600 commercial appearances.
In Brazil.
2012 is not recent.
No, and that was also in Brazil.
The face of Chanel's makeup line.
I'm not saying anything other than being
pretty. Yeah. The horse walk, David, clearly.
Which, well, there was the horse walk. So, like, a book. Why? Is it a picture book? Because that's what made you famous.
My path to a meaningful life. The horse walk was so important. don't get me wrong. I've definitely enjoyed looking at this woman. All right, here it is in 2023 rather.
She got back with Victoria's Secret. So at 43 years old, she went back to Victoria's Secret to horse walk. Even her move just involves her knees being high. Like, I don't see environmental work. Yeah, all the shit people do when they have money. Goodwill ambassador. Okay, listen. I'm not interested.
$30 million in 2016. Highest paid model in the world from 2012, 2017, 2002.
I'm not interested in her.
Look, she's pregnant with another dude. She's pregnant again.
I still don't know she's interrupting.
It's fucking hilarious. She's got to put her career on hold.
She doesn't have a career. But the thing that maybe you can call it jealousy. I don't know. The thing that drives me crazy as a guy, if she was a guy, she would be fucking nobody. She would literally be a nobody.
What do you mean, David? Men don't pioneer the horse walk as a thing of beauty?
No.
Okay. Because there's a lot of guys pioneering the face of makeup companies.
She didn't do anything that would maybe, and it's probably an unfair comparison because it's like, I get it. Men and women are different and they different standards. But like I some of these people that I see get famous would not be famous as men.
That's right.
Most of them.
All of them.
There's got to be a couple. I mean, there's
David, most of the richest women to ever existed didn't even make their own money. And the first thing they do when they get all that money is give it the fuck away.
I don't know. She's not putting a career on.
Jordan Peterson said the number one indicator of your political affiliation, more than any other thing, is your sex.
I don't know if you've seen all of these people posting like
about women getting us into World War III and we have to go fight and die for them. I'm not going. You can fuck off. Fuck off.
But that can lead us into Trump and Liz Cheney. We'll talk about that in a minute. No, about like all these men will be posting on like X or whatever social media they're on. And it'll be like, "Oh, I just voted for Kamala Harris. But they always have to like preface it, which is hilarious because nobody believes it. It's like I'm a straight white male, voted for Harris, and here's why, or whatever. And then they post like a selfie of themselves, and they are the least mass. They're the most effeminate people on earth. Like you can literally smell the estrogen coming off of their post. Like it's so obvious that they are not straight white men, and
they're fine boys.
That's fine. Let's listen. Gay men are fine. I got no problem with them. Don't pretend you're straight. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to pretend you're straight. You just say I'm a proud gay guy voting for Kamala Harris. That's fine. That's fine. They're so closeted. It's crazy. What's up with autism? Why do you have autism on here?
I don't know, David. I sent you the photograph that said like autism is. Just type in autism is up in young adults. Let's see what the
autism up in young adults.
Yeah, use Google so that they can pay Russia and
perfect.
Dust $1 million. You know what's funny is you're asking like how Russia's gonna get their money the same way like how we're like how can they make Alex Jones pay billions of dollars, like the GDP of a country? It's not even possible.
I'll pull up. This is
Trump's ear is fake though.
USA Today, I think.
Yeah, that's the one I sent you.
Oh, good. $1 for $1 for 1 year. Oh, that's that's how much it costs for unbiased election coverage. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, not gonna do that. $1 for 1 year because the first thing you see is this big ass fucking QuickBooks. Better learn how to budget just in case our unbiased media gives you Kamala Harris presidency.
Yeah, we gotta fucking rent lock everything.
Oh, look! Oh, what a shocking ad! Oh, unbiased, completely
There's a Trump ad under that, correct? Right, David? No.
Oh, let me
No.
hold. Oh, wait, hold on. I
Oh.
accidentally clicked it. And now it's a big Kamala Harris ad. Maybe
Oh.
it's biased because I didn't pay $1. Hold on.
Maybe.
Oh, now it's OnStar. Well, at least this one's on. What's this? Surely this
Military,
is pro.
super
This has
unbiased,
got-
David.
This has to be pro-Trump. Look how military
Definitely
it is.
unbiased. Definitely unbiased.
Or is this just an ad to join the military because Kamala Harris is going to get you in World War III?
Yeah, only white people in that commercial, if you notice.
No way this is an ad for the military. No way.
Yeah. All white people. All white people.
Oh, Kamala's back. Holy fuck. This is terrible.
Super unbiased.
It's $1 for this.
Well, clearly the ads must be moved, David.
Jesus Christ. Well, surely it's the algorithm, Ryan.
I have to wait for the facts on that, David, to know what that means.
Let's get into the article.
4 times as many children have been diagnosed with autism in the past 2 decades amid improved awareness and screening. Okay, I understand we have more things to measure with, but I don't necessarily think that means the same. And evolution definitions. Oh, you mean changing language. A new study suggests diagnoses have increased at a faster clip among younger adults over the past decade. Autism spectrum disorder spiked 175% amongst people in the United States from 2.3 to 6.3.
Ryan, how many apples is 175%?
Well, judging by this number, David, if I had 10 apples.
Is that 17.5 out of 10 apples?
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a bit of apples.
Holy shit.
Okay, so at a faster rate amongst adults in their mid-20s and mid-30s in that period, according to a study published in the JAM Open Network. Largely focused on school-age children. The study led author research division. Oh, look at that nice positive Trump ad.
Oh, see, I knew we'd get one. Oh, Trump's gonna ban abortion, got Medicare, and the Affordable Care Act. Wait, I think this is a bad. I think this is. No, this isn't a Trump ad.
Unchecked. Didn't you guys sue him? Didn't you get him for like
paid
felonies?
for Harris by president? This is a
Didn't
Harris
you get him with
ad,
felonies, but he's unchecked?
Well, this is another Harris ad.
I'm
glad we have good, unbiased coverage from USA
I've yet
Today.
to see one thing in Project 25 that is bad. Children ages 5 to 8 had the highest autism rates at 30 diagnoses per 1,000 children in 2022. The second highest rate were 4 and younger at 28.8%. Holy fuck. There has been a shortage of research focused on autistic adults. The study found that far lower autism rates in younger adults and children, but also found autism increasing at a faster pace among those adults. The rates of this is what happens when you eat plastic food, dude. I'm
450%. Holy fuck!
From 2011, is that what that says?
Yeah, 2020. So in 11 years,
the rate of autism from 26 to 34 increased from 4. So this is our age group as well.
You know what's interesting? Like, whatever. Maybe these people went undiagnosed for that long, but like, how do people become autistic at 26 to 34?
I don't know. As somebody, David, that would probably be classified as dyslexic.
Oh my god, are you fucking serious? Look at this.
Super unbiased.
Jesus Christ, this can't be real. This is unbiased USA Today. $1 for 1 year. I don't. How are you charging anything? You
Start the day smarter, David. News in your inbox. Super unbiased.
Fuck. All right, let's continue.
The growing autism rates in adults show that we need improved transition service for autistic individuals and their family. Hey, look, people are getting dumber. We need more systems in place. Their children might get access to services, speech therapy, and other therapy in school.
Which is what?
But the need does not disappear. Cliff and autism is critically important that adults with autism get the care they need. Dude, they want you to be autistic so they can care for you and then kill you. Climb in the pod. Chief scientist of autism serves on the figures of the study show similar results to what the Center of Disease Control and Prevention have reported for younger children. But she said the study's estimates for adults are enormously important and draw attention to the need to track autism patients over time. She said the study shows the value of, can you scroll down a little, please? Value of harvesting information about medical records so researchers can provide a more detailed look at the people with autism.
Oh, look. More Kamala Harris ads.
Super unbiased.
And OnStar.
Only in Chevys. What was that? Boys are more likely to get autism than girls. Yep.
Yeah, which is it's super interesting, right? I wonder why.
Well, the blood-brain barrier is thinner, David. In boys. The brains of boys and girls are just different, and they develop at different rates. Girls have better social skills earlier on, so there's some of the thought they could possibly be masking the features of autism better than boys. The fuck does that mean? Oh, they're saying boys get autism more, and that's maybe because women are so smart that we can't track. Come get fucked. I mean, maybe.
Oh,
Look.
super.
Yeah, this isn't to like beat anything down or whatever. This is just to I think this is just one of those microplastic conversations, David. Like at some point we have to document the fact that they're poisoning us and that there's having severe consequences on us as a civilian population, and it's not okay.
There was something
especially in the day and age when they talk about when climate change, in the day and age where climate change is going to change the earth temperature 2 degrees and change the height of the water 1/10 of a millimeter. We're going to fucking spend trillions of dollars at a global level and fund global governments and put black boxes in cars and make airplaners fucking make everything run on batteries. But we have explosion of autism in literally the population of people that need to be here to keep the world going. And it's just, now they could be overblowing this, obviously 106. The idea that it's going from 30, like 1 in 3 kids are kind of autistic is crazy, because the idea is if it was always that high, we would have more autism before this explosion. Like it would have been more common. And you can say the world was harder and people died. If anything, our genes were stronger when the world was harder because it was survival of the fittest more so than now. So maybe that's the other thing but this is part epigenetic and this is all part of other stuff. This isn't,
there's potentially something to the fact, and I wouldn't to some degree, I wouldn't say it's all of it. There's probably something to the fact that we're just understanding and checking for it more. So I would give some to that. But to go
But
from
it's also our attention
nobody's
spans.
autistic to 1 in every 3 people's autistic in like a few decades, like that's not just we understand it. That's something happened.
Yeah, same thing with gays, right? 1 in 4 Gen Zers is gay or tranny.
And what is that? Because we were told before that you were born with it, and maybe some people are or whatever. I don't know.
I actually wanted to ask AI, actually, David, that if 1 in 4 gay population, if you were to take that same 1 in 4 average and expand it over the course of human history, if we would have the same amount of people now if 1 in 4 people were always gay.
You want to see how that would affect our population?
Well, I mean, there's there's been censuses. Like the Greeks tracked their civilian population. I mean, I don't even know if you could, like, how you would word this for AI, but I'm assuming we could like look up birth rates and compare them to if we were to factor in if 1 in 4 people were gay and see what those numbers would be. It's just arithmetic. We have 6 times the amount of female ancestors as we do male ancestors, meaning that there was less men that reproduced than females historically. But I just listen to super smart people, so I don't know anything, Dave. I think more than anything, this autism thing, we're understanding it more, but this is just one more thing. This was always a conspiracy, the vaccines and everything else. I think another reason we're even seeing this article is because TikTok and everything else is basically allowing people to self-diagnose themselves as avoidant attachment and autistic and fucking dyslexic, and it's not true. You know, you go see a medical professional. You know, like
yes,
people that understand disorders.
I think there's more to that than anybody even understands. Like
Well, and
people,
the placebo
people
effect's got to
watch.
be real. If you're on something and you're like, yeah, oh yeah, this is me. I'm ADHD. And then you go to doctor's office thinking you're ADHD, and then they give you a test to see if you're ADHD. I wonder if you're just gonna perform great. I mean, there's placebo pills. Why psychological tropes? Butter tastes better because it's more yellow. Why would it be any different for mental disorders?
There's definitely something to that because there's a lot of people who will watch somebody making social media content about their mental illness, which to me is fucking mind blowing, but whatever. And it'll be like a list of like 3 things that people with ADHD, to your example, 3 things that people with ADHD do, and it'll be like 3 things that like most people do. And then
Yeah, it's like the Zodiac thing, but just with
inevitably some people go, "Oh, geez, I must have ADHD." So, well, you don't have ADHD. Like for example, like people, I don't know if you know this about me, but like if you were to ever go to my desk at work, things are very straight and like tidy. Like, and I'll straighten things out occasionally just because I like things that are organized. But like
OCD, David.
exactly, somebody saw that the other day and they're like, "Whoa, do you have OCD?" And I'm like, "No, I just like things organized." Like that's not the same thing as OCD. Like I think
no, David, no.
I really hope people
Clearly,
understand that. Like I don't have
compulsions, David.
OCD,
OCDC.
OCDC, highway to mental health. I don't have OCD just because I like things organized. I keep things organized so I'm
OCDC.
efficient. If I'm organized, I'm more efficient because I know where something is and I need to know where that thing is. And if
No,
my
David,
keyboard is in a certain position, I can type faster. If it's fucking sideways and I go in and I'm mistyping,
no, David.
efficiency machine, Ryan.
Having your world structured the way you like it is only for those crazy ADHD OCD people. Not the
surely
high performers, not the tip top high performers. To be honest,
the only
David,
answer is I have OCD.
Well, there is some correlation I have heard between top achievers and some of these things, David. You know, like you've heard that Elon's got Asperger's or something.
Yeah. Did he see a professional who diagnosed him, or did he watch a TikTok video and assume he had it?
I'm sure if Elon were to talk to a doctor, he would tell him to just get fucked, like he did all the ad revenue to add advertisers. Go fuck yourself.
Is that one of the 3 things that people with Asperger's do? Because I might have Asperger's. Just tell people to get fucked. Love it.
Well, you know, swearing is an integration of the autistic part of your brain. All right, Jordan Peterson, simmer the fuck down. Just because you could speak eloquently without saying fuck every other word.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, you fucking Canadian.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, listen, go get re-educated. Okay, shut up and get re-educated already.
To quote a good friend of mine speaking badly about Canadians, why don't you just go sip on some Labatt's, you fucking bag? I wonder if his daughter still has me blocked on X. She really can hold a grudge. AI, Ryan. I keep hearing people say AI is going to take their job. And with all due respect to some of these people, it's not. I'll explain. Because AI is absolutely going to take jobs. Ryan, how much do you think AI costs to develop?
To say it's GDP of countries, I think would be putting it lightly. What countries they are, I don't know.
Tens of billions of dollars. Like it has to be.
Like there's just countries that you could sell everything in the country and there's not enough money to make one. Like, Google has to build a fucking nuclear reactor to power artificial intelligence. So,
like they're not going to put tens of billions of dollars into tech to sweep a floor. Now, I know these things exist, and I know people are going to say, "Oh, they have those robot vacuums." No,
well, nobody will work, David.
Well,
it's all that price gouging.
The immigrants will take the job, right?
The computer immigrants,
I don't have an exact science to this yet, but there is a
You're
wage.
Waiting for the facts, David.
Well, no, I really haven't sat down and done the numbers. There's got to be a wage where immigrants stop taking your job and AI starts taking your job. And I'm curious what that salary is.
Like $50K a year.
Like $50K. Like if you make I almost think it's a little bit lower than that, but maybe.
Like
there might be a safe zone too.
Like 30 to 50.
There might be a safe zone where like it's like like we might be in like Ryan, you might be in the safe zone as an electrician. Like it would be too expensive to figure out how to have an AI robot do everybody's electricity. Like we're nowhere near that yet.
Yeah, you
But
barely afford a person to do it.
but you're definitely not getting a guy fresh over from Mexico to do it. Like he
Yeah,
might
no
hang
way.
like, I know you talked about this before. You might have him hang drywall or sweep or whatever, but you're not going to have him wire up electrical in a building. So like
Not unless you can speak English.
I think you're in a comfy safe zone. Like I think you're safe. You're not getting replaced by immigrants or AI.
No, it's impossible.
But like the
I could employ
janitor,
immigrants, but
with all due respect to janitors, I know they're important and some of them make pretty decent money.
Custodians,
Whatever.
Dave.
With all respect to custodians, right?
Don't shit on the plumbers because they're gonna be millionaires before you, David.
They're going to be because I ain't doing it. I had more plumbing today. I'm sick of plumbing. Even easy plumbing that I can definitely handle, it just bothers me. I don't know why. Like the most simple things. Like today, we randomly had a garbage disposal leak, and I'm like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna replace it." Because I'm looking at it, I tore it apart, and I'm like, "Well, it's sealed motor unit. Like, there's nothing I can do. It's leaking. It is what it is. It needs a new one. They're 150 bucks. Fine." Went to the store, got one, ripped it all apart, and I get in there. First of all, very basic electrical. It's literally fucking ground hot and fucking neutral, whatever. But fine, that's no problem. Very basic. Even the install of the garbage disposal, super basic. But for whatever reason, whenever I'm around pipes and water, I hate my life. I don't know why. It literally took 15 minutes, start to finish, to do. And I hated every second of it. You cannot pay me enough to be a plumber. I don't know why. I don't know if it's
fucking $1 million, David.
It's no.
Do you
know
how much
it sucks. Everything's wet. You're in fucking
Dave,
fucking cramped and twisted, dude, and
think about how many basements you could dwell in with $1 million.
I don't need more basements. I already have to tear this studio down and put it in my new studio basement, assuming I put it in the basement. I might film from, quote, the hunting room for a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. There's like coyotes and wolves and
just
shit.
Dead shit.
There's shit everywhere. There's fish. I don't know. It's the hunting.
I would not. That's the new studio.
It might be temporarily. I don't know.
Let's have that fucking bear hold the Declaration of Independence in its paws.
The last, yeah, I don't know. You can't pay me enough to do plumbing. Yeah, AI. There. I think there's three. There's probably split. Now that we think about it, there's probably split into 3 zones. It's probably you're going to get replaced by an illegal immigrant, and then there's like a safe zone, and then there's like AI is definitely taking your job. Like I don't see why we're going to have humans do like stock brokering. Like there's no way anything that is 100% mental. There's no way AI is not going to replace you. Like why wouldn't you replace humans with an AI machine that can outthink you all day every day, never take a break, never go on vacation,
doesn't get horny, hungry.
Don't get caught fucking the secretary. Like there's no
don't
reason.
Get caught fucking your Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor that you got to put your career on hold.
In all seriousness, there's no reason CEOs don't get replaced with AI.
Yo, if Bill Belichick is fucking a 25-year-old, Tom Brady is fucking just running through women. Poor boys. I think he likes Josh Allen in the butt. What? Keep going.
There's no way. So yes, I think there's safe, and it might not only be dollar range, but I think if it's 100% mental, you're getting replaced. If it's 100% physical, you're going to get replaced by illegal immigrants. And if you're in the and if you're in that, illegal immigrants replace 100% physical jobs. AI replaces everything that's a mental job, and then the jobs that require mental and physical fortitude, those are the jobs that are unreplaceable. So I'm just saying, for anybody who's young and maybe looking for careers, pick something that is not replaceable by illegal immigrants or AI. And it's a physical and mental job. It has to be.
So I'll either get replaced by Apple or Pablo.
I don't think you're getting replaced. You could probably realistically teach certain immigrants could be taught. electrical for sure, but it's not like they just jump into it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like even outlet, Negro, Blanco.
Do you remember what? Do you still remember what color our bed liners were when we sprayed them?
Negro.
It was Negro Robusto. It always made me laugh.
Oh yeah, Robusto Negro, right?
Strong
robust,
black.
but strong black.
Until the paint injection didn't work, then it was a strong tan color. Fucking $1 million business, dollar store equipment. Love it.
Yeah, Grace. That was a good saying. Failed foresight of failed millionaires. The color ped line was a good gig, Dave. Those forgot that was even possible.
I was looking because I remember the rep told us like the light colors, like you can't do it. But I have some pictures on my Facebook still, and they were like silvers and like a white that we did, and they were spot on.
I liked red a lot. Victory red was cool, and the blue one was cool that we did when we had that blue truck.
We did a green one too. I don't know if you were there for that though. That might have been after you left. We had a whole fleet of vehicles that were green came in.
And they wanted green bedliner?
They wanted green bedliners. It was a fleet company. I don't know why they would go for a color match for an extra. I don't know how much money extra that is, but it seems unworth it. That was, I think, after you left.
Hide money.
I think that was after you left, and you left me with the man who was arrested for stealing. That's a real story. Ryan,
which one? Stealing from the shop, or but the guy stealing tools
from the shop? Yeah. And then he took it to the pawn shop down the road. I'm not kidding. He stole a new piece of equipment and literally drove it down the road to a pawn shop, thinking nobody will notice. He was a good dude too. In all seriousness, like he was an okay guy, but like holy fuck.
Can I see some ID? Yeah, sure. Here.
He's like in his thing and has his name on it. It's like, hey, did you guys like this very expensive piece of equipment came in?
Yeah, it was $700 sauce.
The thing that could sway the election, Ryan, is a squirrel.
How so, Dave? I think the squirrel has a Buffalo connection, David.
You know, I was just like just now it hit me. There wasn't it's an October surprise, right? We didn't have an October surprise, did we?
Trump got shot in the fucking head, dude.
Well, that's not an October surprise. I don't even know if that was in October.
September.
There was no October surprise. The squirrel, Ryan, New York State, your state, stole a man's pet and murdered it. And it was just a little squirrel named Peanut. For God's sakes. It was a little squirrel named Peanut. You don't kill a squirrel named Peanut. That's fucking evil. They euthanized it. He's a little squirrel.
They kidnapped a squirrel and killed it.
They did.
This is what we're worried about.
Well,
I could care the fuck less about the squirrel.
Well, here's the problem.
I don't kill all the squirrels.
Listen, this was a man.
Kidnap all the squirrels. They're annoying.
Hold on. I don't think you're understanding. Let me pull up Peanut.
Oh, he's a pet. Oh,
he's a pet squirrel. This man saved the squirrel.
No, he didn't, David.
Yes, he did. Hold on,
David. I've tried to befriend squirrels. They're not wild animals, David.
Well, they're not
pets.
They're
wild.
There's actually a lot of people who keep squirrels.
Look, keep your fucking marsupials. It's just New York State, just straight murder and squirrels.
Hold on, let's bring.
I wonder what the bill would be. Like, I wonder what it actually costs the government to send a group of people.
I will say this bothers me more than it bothers you. Come on, look at that. Man's got horses. Holy Jesus Christ! No. Okay. Watch this. I turn this up. Can you hear it?
Fair use. Fair use. Yeah.
Mark
Yeah.
Longo says he was blindsided on Wednesday morning when agents from the
squirrel.
State Department of Environmental
cool that squirrel
Conservation
is.
came looking for his famous
Come on,
squirrel.
it's a little
I was
peanut.
just going through my daily routine of
and he lives
feeding
in
all
Pine
of our
Nut. That's even
71
funnier.
rescue horses at a nonprofit animal rescue. Midway through that, a line of DEC officers, about 6 to 8 of them, showed up.
6 to 8
and,
officers showed
gave
up
me a
to get
warrant
a squirrel so
and a
they could
raccoon.
murder it.
The search warrant said Longo was in unlawful possession of wildlife. He says agents ransacked his property for 5 hours until they found Peanut and Fred the raccoon.
We complied. We weren't allowed to move. We were
6
police
to 8.
escorted into the bathroom.
It's kind of big.
Mind you, this is a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon.
Oh yeah,
I
he had
feel
a
like
raccoon.
this was a little bit of an overkill.
Longo says he was working on
No
the
pun
necessary
intended.
paperwork to be
Look at that
able to
squirrel.
legally own Peanut as an educational animal.
You're not only hurting my family by taking Peanut away from me, but you're also hurting the organization that we started on the back of a rescue squirrel. We named this organization Peanut's Freedom Farm because he has been such a big portion of my life and so many people around the world. You know, we promoted the fact that squirrels are not good pets. They don't deserve to be inside, but there are rare occasions where you stumble on an animal that unfortunately can't survive in their normal habitat. That's the only reason why Peanut was ever a rescue animal.
Longo says he rescued Peanut 7 years ago in New York City after the squirrel's mom was hit by a car. He says he rehabbed Peanut and tried to release him into his backyard. But Longo says Peanut never developed the instincts to survive outside. After Peanut was attacked by an animal and lost half his tail, Longo let Peanut live in his home.
And then he became best friends with my cat. So that's when we turned to social media. We put some funny and silly videos out there, and the internet loved him. He became the world's most famous squirrel.
Peanut racked up a combined 3 million followers on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Longo says he believes Peanut's fame led to someone filing a complaint.
I'm no expert in anything involving politics of the state, but they sent 6 to 8 officers to my house from Albany to confiscate a squirrel and a raccoon, and it was signed off on a search warrant. So just that in its sense, to say that is one of the most shocking things I could say, in my opinion, is we just used resources and spent an entire day sitting 2 people who run a nonprofit animal rescue and treat them like criminals.
He makes some fair points.
Oh, you are a criminal. But it's just.
Honestly,
we prove it every week. Like
we Ryan, me and you are already at this point, but like the thing that about this is I think that'll take like a normal person.
Can you imagine
who's,
if
like,
New York
watching-
goes red over a fucking squirrel, dude?
Well, that's what I'm not predicting that, but I think you turn the public against you at some point. And like, who can justify that? Who can justify sending agents, state agents or federal agents? Who can justify sending that into somebody's house to take a squirrel? And then they killed the squirrel. So like, what was the point of taking it?
For those who don't know, the DEC in the state of New York is the most powerful organization in New York State. They can override the president of the United States. They can override the United Nations if they see fit. So, yeah, not only Mr. I don't know the politics of the state, because politics doesn't matter, right, David? Why should I care, David? I just got a squirrel rescue. Yeah, we're going to kill your squirrel now. Yeah. You can't have a squirrel. Yeah, so not only did it, what they sent was the number one authority that there possibly could be. Now, granted, the DEC's literal job, if you can say it, that is to do this very thing. I'm not saying that this is justified or not or whatever, but Dave, to piggyback on your point, this is actually the silver lining in this. It's a shame that's got to come after. I don't know if this dude has kids and stuff, but I'm assuming he has a family. That's why he said we. If they'll do it to a squirrel, they'll do it to you. Like, this is the Jews of Texas thing. I had it was a funny joke about a serious topic, but this is the problem when people just think that you don't have to pay attention to people that make and write the laws and have all the power. I don't know how you think it's a good idea to, like, not saying that we don't need authority. I'm not an anarchist because I genuinely don't. I think we need laws, but we need a lot fucking less of them. Or maybe we need to empower our civilians again, because that's really what it comes down to. You know, like if the DEC showed up and you had some protection against the DEC, I might not be so upset about some of the laws. But this is just getting in the minute detail of the fact that these people have too much power and not enough check against their authority.
You know, if you go back to, and I don't remember, it was an alligator or a crocodile that somebody in your neck of the woods, like
This is
literally
Hamburg.
15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. They took that from that person, and it was a very similar story. Raised it from a baby, and was unlawful possession of wildlife and whatever. It's a law, but I even then I saw a lot of people say, well, it was a crocodile or an alligator, or whatever it was. It was very dangerous. It was dangerous to have that in their house or whatever. And that was like, it was kind of like a way of justifying that the state definitely overstepped their bounds. Now it's a squirrel. So like, I think those same people are going to be like, okay, hold on. I was with you with the crocodile. Those are dangerous, big teeth, kill people. A squirrel? Like, really? This guy
And a
saved
raccoon.
Squirrel and a raccoon from New York State. And I know people personally who had raccoons. And by the way, raccoons, devious animals. I wouldn't recommend getting a raccoon.
They're so weird, dude.
But if somebody had a raccoon, I wouldn't recommend the government go in there and kill it either.
Trash pandas.
A squirrel? Like those same people, are they also going to say that about a squirrel? Well, squirrels are very dangerous. Well, I mean, I'm sure they could bite or whatever, but like really, a squirrel. And to what degree do we take this down to? Like I used to keep saltwater fish, like they're legal now, but there was a fight in the saltwater community that government agents wanted to stop importing a fish and possession of certain fish and things like that, because here's a fact that, and it's almost unilateral across all animals. Animals kept in captivity, on average, live so much longer than animals in the wild. Like, it's not even close.
Well, David, isn't it funny?
Well,
It comes
then-
on the heels of the very people that claim to be conservationists. Like New York State's whole shtick is that they're going green and that they're a heavy conservation, and they are. And quite frankly, New York's beautiful. I'm a conservationist. I want clean water. I don't want you building where fish live. I like fishing and hunting. I am a conservator. I go park walking every week in my local community. I fucking love New York. They have magnificent. Like I promote that too. I encourage that. I want my state to be a conservationist state. But you're killing animals. But I can't build a pipeline because it will kill frogs. So it's not about the dead animals. It's just about your authority of what animals you can kill.
That's a really good point.
You don't care.
There's no consistency in that. I didn't even think of that, but yeah, there's no consistency. I mean, that's a rare two-toed frog, but your squirrel, I better take it and kill it because it's in your house. And it's like, you went into my house to kill my squirrel? Like, really?
Yeah, and this guy was going to go further, use it as an education tool. Now, I know that's a little loophole, just like slapping fucking service dog on your little chihuahua that you walk around the mall, even though it's not a service dog. People, I see you out there, you lying pricks. I bet you there's so much stolen
Ryan, they have
going on
OCD.
right now.
They have
with
OCD.
furry-
They like things organized, so they had to get a service chihuahua.
My emotional support, Peacock, you fucking fallen, stolen valor on all these
That is my
dogs in
emotional
stores.
support lion. Thank you.
You know what? I'm just
Don't
going
you
to start
dare.
going up and punching all of these animals. And if none of them react, I'll know it's just a fake ass animal. Emotional support dog would attack me. It's a lie, propaganda. These people are lying so that they can keep their dog with them. My dad carries his dog in a store with him. Like, it's so embarrassing. The thing shits, dude. The thing shits on the ground. Where was I? I said ADHD, David. Clearly the autism,
Well, it's self-diagnosed.
mostly. We do live in basements. We're the
Can we
mold
equate
state.
this to a dog or a cat? I know it's
I
not.
mean-
I know it's not technically against the same law or whatever, but like, isn't it really, when you boil it down, the same thing? Like, if I were to send
What about your
agents to your
children,
house to-
David? What about your children, David?
Well, that's what. So like, that's where I'm going with this. Like, you can run it down the line. At what point do you lose faith? At what point do you lose faith in your government?
I don't know.
Well,
they
it was
killed your
just
squirrel.
it was
They
just a
took his
crocodile,
squirrel, Dave.
Ryan. It was just a crocodile, very dangerous animal.
That's what I
Ryan, it
miss.
was a squirrel, but It was against the law. You can't own a squirrel in New York State, so they had to take it and kill it.
Don't smash these nuts, dude. No
Ryan, it was
nuts
just-
on me.
It was his dog, but and this happens with the DEA.
It's a
and shit.
pit bull.
It was
It's a
his
pit
dog,
bull.
but it was a pit bull, and like it was self-defense.
Rottweiler.
Okay. Well, it was his kid, but
David,
know,
David,
the kid had severe autism, Ryan.
Dave, it's not all the guns, it's just the assault guns.
People see the strategy, right? Like you don't dive into it.
It's Overton window, David.
Well, I'm okay with the crocodile. Are you okay with the
Okay with the
I'm
squirrel?
Well, Alex Jones, but that was Sandy
Yeah.
Hook. He was dead on
Where
Iron Man.
between Stephen Hawking and Donald Trump do you fall?
Well,
on the
Donald Trump-
AIs? Yeah.
Donald Trump's fine because he's a rapist and he says mean things.
He's not popular at all.
Dave and
45
Ryan.
million.
Dave and Ryan's fine because they're on YouTube and they're using third-party content.
They just interfere in foreign elections, David.
Dave and Ryan interfere in foreign elections. You can shut them down. Like you see how it goes, right? Like it's
Such
not
a
just
badge of
obvious
honor.
to us. I hope.
It may be like the worst thing they ever did to us was just give me unlimited content that the government's trying to censor our speech because they literally censored our speech. It's just amazing. They said I interfered in New Zealand's election.
I wanted her to win, honestly. I don't know her politics, but
Just
was
one
hoping
button
I'd see her
lower.
on the-
Never.
I was really hoping I'd see her more on the news, and I haven't, unfortunately.
Like, put
Uh,
it on the floor.
Ryan, the
I
last
can't
thing I
wait to
really
be
wanted to,
exported by UK, David, clearly.
the last thing I really wanted to get into before we talked about the election Tuesday, and then if you had any record entertainment. Donald Trump said something about Liz Cheney along the lines of, and I'll say it with no context, and then I'll say it with context, because that's how this works. Donald Trump had said something about Liz Cheney along the lines of, well, how would she feel if 9 barrels were staring back at her? Okay. Out of context. Sounds kind of bad. In context, he was
Depends who
referring.
you ask, David, clearly.
Well, I'm not saying I'm against it. In context, he was referring to politicians sending their children to war.
Never happens, David. I thought that's what the Ukrainian president was for.
Right. The squirrel got me close to this, Mad. But on a serious level, to take that clip and make it sound like Donald Trump wants Liz Cheney shot in a firing squad. Fuck these people to the highest degree of fucking. I mean, I'm talking mascara down the face,
DP. Just the
towels,
whole-
just wring it out. It's need a chamois. I'm talking the highest degrees of fuck these people. And to what a great point Donald Trump was making. These politicians going around sending your children to war who don't have the balls to go there themselves. Donald Trump's making a great point.
Well,
How would
he doesn't
you
have
feel?
balls either, David. It's not like he was shot in the fucking head.
How would you feel going to war? How would you feel with barrels staring back at you? Was Donald Trump's point. Firing squad. It's not a firing squad. He's talking about politicians sending your children blindly to wars to fight for causes that they might not even believe in. In a lot of cases, I've found with military people that I've known, they don't believe in the cause in a lot of cases. Sometimes, I mean, some of them were fooled into the war on terrorism. That's not like I'm not mocking them for saying that. Like all of us kind of were.
Well, David, clearly they hate us because of our freedom, so we just gotta have the Patriot Act here.
But like I'm getting to the point where if politicians, and I'll even go as far as to say media personalities, are going to recommend, stir up, and cause wars, that they need to be on the front lines. Ben Shapiro, you need to be on the front line when you say that.
Well, David, he can't. He needs to go to synagogue on Sunday, David. He's got to
Well, then
worship.
he can fight the other 6 days. Well, no, Saturdays you can't use start fires and whatever.
We should put him in Israel so that he can worship at the
5 days.
Israel
Monday.
church.
I want Ben Shapiro Monday through Friday if he starts a war, and I'm not going to step on your religion. Okay, so Saturday you're good. Monday through Friday, I want Ben Shapiro on the front line if he's starting wars. Liz Cheney, she's a Satanist. I don't think they pray. 7 days a week, I want Liz Cheney
Oh,
overseas.
they pray, David.
I want her fighting Russians
Satanists pray more than Christians, David, because the Satanists are praying for the downfall of Christians.
Satanists pray to the altar of themselves.
They pray to Lucifer to destroy Christians. I'm
These
telling you.
these people need to be on the front lines. I don't want any more of this. I'm sending them overseas, and well, it's a good because of this. Well, Putin's a bad guy. Well, maybe he is, but is it our fight?
He's a pretty good guy for suing Google, David, in my opinion.
Sounds pretty similar, Ryan. Not gonna lie. They're making it really hard to hate the guy in some cases. Like, yeah, YouTube censored him and he's going after him. It's like, good, fuck YouTube.
I wish
Seriously.
I could sue YouTube for.
I'm just saying, I'm not
a
a
deuce of
Putin fan or anything, but if you gave me a choice between Putin or YouTube, I'm taking Putin's side every time.
Every time.
Dude, fuck YouTube. They're literally interfering in our elections, and it's whatever. People can say Putin did too, because some Russian put $50,000 in Facebook ads out. Maybe. Did he interfere nearly as much as YouTube does on a regular basis? Or any social media company? Does anyone remember the Twitter files? Now, Putin's a bad guy, so we gotta fight that war. Oh, China, Taiwan. There's the chips. We better send troops. Israel and like the whole Middle East, because they're always fighting each other. Better send some troops. Are you gonna go? I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I really don't. I think if you were to change one thing to dramatically change the future and change where we are now, if you were to change one thing, people in power used to go to battle.
Alexander the Great, George Washington, General Eisenhower.
I seriously believe this.
Fuck Hitler. Hitler, for people saying Trump is Hitler, Hitler saw more frontline battles than all of our elected officials did.
I truly believe this.
I know it was his generation.
But one of the things that changed society for the worst is people in power do not fight anymore. Do you think our foreign policy would be different? Like, think about it. Do you really think they'd be the same? We'd be fighting all these useless wars if every time Barack Obama had to go there? If Joe Biden had to go to Ukraine, you think we'd be in a proxy war there?
Oh, let's just send his kids to go there and get caught up in black tar heroin pits, David.
Do you think Bush would be out in Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran?
Well, he's a fighter pilot, David, of course.
In his 50s? I don't think so.
He's
and then there's something else to this. Like, they absolutely wouldn't, right? Well, then what would the country need? Because there's times when war is necessary, certainly. So then,
who are you going to have? Person, David, somebody with resolve and ability.
Who are you going to have lead the troops? Somebody who would also go on the front line. Trump's comments about Liz Cheney were dead on. They're 100% correct, and it needs to be said more. And people can try to spin it as a firing squad or whatever they want to spin it as, but it's 100% right. People in power.
Do you think people are buying it, David? Do you think that, like,
I don't think so.
People are seeing it? Do you think people made up their mind? Do you think Trump wins? Like, what do you think happens on Tuesday?
Well, let's get into that, because that's one of the last things. It's really, we're setting up where we're Tuesday night. Obviously, is going to be election night. We're going to be live here on Rumble. Probably 9-ish.
Between 9 or 9:10, something like that.
9-ish. It's not going to be a hard set thing, but we're going to be here.
Stop the steal, David.
Here's the two ways I'm looking at this. I think without a doubt, Donald Trump should win the election. You could never convince me otherwise. And unfortunately, the same thing in 2020. You couldn't have convinced me that Joe Biden was going to win that. And you still can't convince me he won that. And I think the same thing about this election. You cannot convince me in my mind. If Donald Trump loses, I'm immediately looking for how they cheated. I've never seen and this is part of why this is important, but I told everybody all this. it's so important to trust your own senses. And I know there's still people who don't do it, but like people need to trust their own senses. Go drive around. It's tough because you can't drive around the whole country, and there's people who live in blue cities and everything's going to be a Harris sign, and there's people who live in rurals and everything's going to be a Trump sign. But usually there's somewhat of a mix. I've never seen so few yard signs for the opposition. Like, I'm in a red area, there's no doubt. There's going to be more Trump signs no matter what. But like, there were Biden signs in 2020. Not a lot of them, but some. I've seen 2 Harris signs within like a 60-mile radius of here.
Yeah, I will tell you, I'm more in a battleground area, David, not like literally on paper, but this area where I live is heavy Republican and heavy Democrat. You know, there's probably not many independents in this area.
There was
It's very polarizing.
yeah, well, here's a funny story. I know for a fact, and I'm pretty
It's based
confident.
on demographics of the area too.
I'm fairly confident the owner of this house hasn't moved or the house hasn't changed ownership. 99% confident. This house had a Gary Johnson sign in 16. It had a Joe Jorgensen sign in 2020, both libertarian candidates. In 2024, it's got a Trump sign. People are so fed up with everything. And then, whatever, we talked to Dr. Mike Termott, and I did truly enjoy him, but Chase Oliver is fucking awful. He said earlier today that, keep in mind he's libertarian, he said earlier this week or whenever, that he fully supports federally funding sex changes for prisoners. That's your libertarian candidate in 2024. No shot. Sorry, not doing it. There's things I dislike about Trump too. I promise you. I know we do the
Yeah.
show and we're heavy defending Trump all the time because he gets attacked so heavily. But there's a lot of stuff I don't like about Trump. Federally funding sex changes for prisoners? Absolutely not. No chance. This guy was running around proud to wear a mask during COVID. Had a fucking rainbow flags all over the place. No thanks. No thank you.
Yeah, it's odd because like the libertarian vote in 16 was like, hey, these are terrible candidates, reasonable people. This is your chance. And then in 2020, it was like, holy fuck. Like the
Look-
people that knew about constitutionality and all this stuff was like, well, there's only one candidate that would have not locked us down, and it's the libertarians, which they would have done the same fucking thing. And then now it's like you said, David, people are just, there's only one option. This is the 2020 and the 2016 libertarian people. Okay. Believe me, David, because you know how I was. I pulled Trump for all those, and I am a libertarian, constitutionalist, pro-America party. And I look at policy just like what we all used to do back in the, a couple of years ago when the Obama administration. Well, what's the policy like? When people actually cared about policy, there were, believe it or not, people that you used to actually talk policy about people and the platform that they ran on and the cabinet members.
And Ryan
of the
knows that was my
administrations.
biggest gripe against Trump in
With Trump.
2016.
Yep. It's actually why we didn't endorse Trump. We were Ted Cruz and Rand Paul.
I was a big Ted
But-
Cruz guy.
Yeah, it just became
I still
apparent.
like him.
It,
but-
yeah, it has just they're fucking Ted Cruz and Rand Paul, as great as they are fence sitters. They're just 80% on one side of the fence post. That's like you don't have 99% freedom. May your chains rest upon you lightly. Give me liberty or give me death. There is no in between. There's only one person getting bullet shot at. I don't know how people vote against that. And if we're going
Even
historically,
libertarian
David,
Mark Zuckerberg said what a badass moment that was.
David, if we're going historically, every time that a person's tried to be assassinated, they basically won the fucking election. So, if there's no way he loses, in my opinion. But what do we know, David? We should wait for the facts from the people that when you ask them, like Joe Rogan asked JD Vance, he says, well, you guys know more than me.
Wait for the facts, though.
Wait for the facts from the people. Then when I ask them the facts, they tell me that I actually know more than they do because of the internet. So this
But
ties back into
Don't
something,
do your own
David.
research though, because that's how you
Conspiracy.
get conspiracy theories. Yeah,
Misinformation, David.
malinformation, disinformation.
Malinformation.
Remember,
But
it's
here's
all
the
that.
thing, and here's the yeah, not even real things. Because here's the thing, David. I've said this in private. I guess we'll go on record here. Every time YouTube, I can't sue you like Russia. David and I can't sue you like Russia. I will take your building apart brick by
Why
brick.
can't we?
Though. I want to dismantle the building. I don't want their money. I want to own the fucking rocks that thing's made out of.
I want both.
But
Can I sue YouTube?
we should sue YouTube because I'm going to tell you, David, every time that they mess with our videos, they are interfering in domestic elections in America. What they're actually stopping is the expression and the education of my fellow civilians. And quite frankly, David, since we're in different states, this is a cross-state podcast. So like you're actually
but we're not
fucking
educating
with
people, Ryan. We should wait for the facts from other sources.
David, the facts that I'm presenting, as far as I'm concerned, the last I checked on this program, you can check all of our sources, YouTube. Most of our sources are actually from scientists or the media paper, or we go back further where the source material comes from, like the Wikipedia search we did earlier today on the program, David, about the iron beam. We didn't just
We
pull up
truly
the
do
news
get
article.
we truly do get a lot of our articles. They're always like NBC News, USA Today, CNN. Like we almost always get the information from those people. So how is it that we're conspiracy theorists when we're getting information from CNN?
And this was the tactic that Alex taught me to use. I don't use mainstream media because I trust them. I use mainstream media because that's what everybody else trusts. So if I can get mainstream media to admit it, and also by default get the military to admit it, because the military runs the fucking media. I told you guys that. Just like everybody else that knows what the fuck's going on, told you guys that. We can go back on Wikipedia and track the military program, just like we did with the fucking weather weapon. That's how we prove that they have weather weapons, is that it was a military operation. It didn't just evaporate, people. I have the videos on my phone every time they spray. See how we put the little rocks together here. So every time they fuck with our videos, every time that they censor it, every time that they say it's against community guidelines and everything else, what they're actually doing is interfering in, it's not even my expression. This isn't even like a freedom thing. What they're actually doing in particular, David, when they target us, is they are messing with the redress of grievance.
I'd like to see something.
Yeah, I mean,
from YouTube. Like if you're gonna poll, the problem is, the problem is what they do, period. But if you're going to do it, and by it I mean block content, remove channels. If you're going to say because of malinformation, I want the timestamp, I want the quote of what I said. I know you know what it is because you have the AI technology recording my voice. I want the exact quote.
Well, David, we don't pay for
rebuttal.
subtitles on YouTube, but yet the subtitles are on YouTube. I don't pay for that. You don't pay for that.
There's no, you can't appeal against these people because there's nothing to appeal. I want the exact quote. I want your rebuttal with the source.
And we provide sources, right? Our content is the source. We are media, right, David? That's like our whole stink. We actually like openly discuss our thoughts and ideas in a way that if you did actually censor us, you'd be able to go in our content and see what was censorable and why, and then be able to tell us. If anything, David, we are a case study of how the internet and the First Amendment have this elastic property that has to be thought through.
Truthfully, I'd like to work with YouTube, and I know like they would never work with somebody on the right, but I would like to work with them in a way to make the process work for everybody. Truthfully, and I know they have malintent, so it doesn't matter. It's a lost cause. But truly, if in a perfect world where I believe them, which doesn't exist, but in a perfect world where I believe in the people at YouTube and I think they're truly trying to make the world a better place and truly trying to stop bad information from crossing the whatever, if that was a real place that exists, I would love to see them reach out to people on the right and say, how could we make this better? Because truthfully, that's how you would make it better. How can you make this better? Give me exactly what I said. Give me why it's wrong. I want the source so I can read the information and figure it out.
And don't fucking shadow ban me.
And if I can appeal with a different source that says differently than you, then we call it a wash. At least give it a possibility. At least give us work for it. At least give us a chance to have the credibility because I know where we pull our information from. I'm getting it from CNN. Don't ban me for malinformation because I quote something from a CNN article.
We told you guys about that military base that China was buying, all that land outside that military base, and turned out it was China buying it.
Well, nobody knew that, Ryan. We know more than they do, apparently, because we called it fucking immediately.
Like you said, they won't even give us a chance to get credibility to even be able to continually say, like, well, we were right about this and this. And then
Truthfully-
they shadow ban us, just like they shadow banned the Trump Rogan interview, which I looked right before the podcast, David. Rogan's second most video in 8 days, 44 million views. The Bob Lazar one, the top one, is 63 million. And that was like from 8
Crazy.
years ago.
Crazy.
Trump is the most popular person that has ever ran for the country. There is no fucking way that guy loses in a free and open election. It doesn't exist. I don't even think Kamala Harris got 44 million views on all of her media put together, even with airing it on football games.
Or on USA Today. One last thing too on these YouTube.
Yeah, when they censor us, David, it's literally they're fucking with our nation. They're attacking people of our nation. People come to us for news. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's 0 people or not, David. We started this program as a way of expressing ourselves and to exchange information and our thoughts. And people come to us and we report on this. So when they mess with our video, our stuff, it is interfering in domestic elections. That's what YouTube is doing to us. And I just want a fair shot. I don't want your money, YouTube. I want a fair shot to get the ad revenue and everything, like all your other people that you promote. But you don't. You've throttled this side of the internet and this side of freedom.
I would scrap our monetization 100%. I would make this deal today. I will scrap monetization. You don't throttle the channel.
Yes.
Well, how do you know they're throttling the channel? How do I know?
Look at our numbers on Rumble. Look at the numbers of all the people that go to Rumble. They're telling me that the people couldn't have that same traction on YouTube, David, with more audience. It's only only the fringe people go to Rumble. You're telling me Rumble's fringe, but 50% of the people on Rumble go there for information. This is just a fringe group. If it's so fringe, why is there success? Like, why is there people tuning in? Crowder gets 100,000 views. That's not just fringe people, dude. Like, what are we talking about? You're telling me that YouTube just allows some of that money to walk off the table.
Yeah, if you were talking about this purely from a business standpoint, what YouTube does doesn't make any business sense. So it's not business; it has to be political. Because you wouldn't,
and you can't say it's for a minority. Half the country votes for Trump. It's not a minority.
This is what YouTube does. If you were to break this down into like something that makes more sense, more relatable. This is exactly what YouTube does. YouTube owns a bake shop. Okay.
Gay cakes, David.
Half the people who go in the door, they tell them to fuck off and turn around. How long is that business in business for?
About half as long as it needs to be, David. It could be in business twice as long if it took everybody's money.
There's not a business on earth unless there's ulterior motives or somebody funding the other half.
DEI.
There's not a business on earth that says fuck you and cuts their customer base in half.
It's just the fringe, David. He got 170 million votes. It's just a small fringe group. 45 million views on one video, small fringe group.
To go, I guess, to bring it
Dude,
back.
Obama, I bet you the Obama Eminem rally didn't even draw 45 million views. Dude, the Super Bowl gets 100 million views, 90 million viewers. Joe Rogan's podcast was half the size of the Super Bowl. I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. If women elect Kamala Harris, just because you want to have women's rights, I can't knock you for that. But if I have to go to World War III, I'm gonna be very upset, and I expect sandwiches twice a day. And I'm fucking all of you. I'm having multiple wives. I don't give a fuck. When I come back from the war, I'm having multiple wives. I don't care. I don't care. Fuck polygamy. I want multiple wives. You guys all voted for this shit. You can go fight it.
I mean,
I'm so sick and tired of people that don't know how the world works. Get the fucking have a voice on it.
right. I
And
think
their
if Kamala
first
Harris
inclination
wins,
is to just bankrupt everything and give everything away. And dude, her whole thing is to lock in prices on shit as if that's even a real possibility of something to do. You don't think if you could lock in prices, we would have been locking in prices forever, David? How come Rome didn't lock in the price of bread, David, when they ran the whole world 10,000 years ago?
I don't know. Right,
People
if
don't know
Kamala
how
Harris,
the fucking basic economy works, but I'm gonna they're voting for somebody based on the economy. You guys don't even know how the economy works. You don't even know how building is fucking built.
I'm sorry, I don't buy anybody voting for Kamala over the economy.
Not
Like you
somebody
said, if
that
it's
knows how. Not somebody
like
that
you
knows
said,
how it works.
if it's because of abortion, fine. I'll die on that hill. That's fine.
Go
If
ahead.
Trump loses
That's actually a
because
good
of
reason.
abortion, I'll
Guess
die
it's
on
a
that
good
hill.
reason.
That's fine.
Yep.
That's a
Guess
principle you
it's a
don't
good reason.
sacrifice. That's fine.
Yep. Yep.
Nobody's voting for Kamala in the economy. Nobody thinks she's going to do a better job on immigration. Nobody thinks she's going to keep us out of wars like Trump did.
Middle class
There's
growth? No way.
No chance. No
way.
chance. If Kamala wins, it's because of abortion. Fine. I'll die on that hill. That's fine. I'm perfectly fine with it as long as it's a free, fair election. Just like 2020 is the safest and most secure, right? But I'll say this. If Kamala Harris wins, I'm never rapping again. I think we should impregnate every girl who is over 18.
Yeah.
So, here you go. Enjoy
Yeah,
your
and
abortion.
I'm not
Go get
paying
an
child
abortion.
support. I'm not paying child support ever again. I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it. I
I'm
choose not to.
I swear the fucking God, I will deny the kid is mine. A kid could look
No.
just
You want child
fucking
support?
like,
You want
yeah.
child support? You should have got an
Yeah,
abortion.
yeah,
Sorry about your luck.
sorry.
No chance.
It's not
No
my kid.
chance.
It's
Not
Kamala
mine.
Harris's.
Don't know.
I'm not doing it. I'm not. Enough is enough. Like I don't. Like what? I don't. Look, I realized this the other day. The idea that a 40-year-old is gonna tell 30-year-olds what to do now is vacating because it's our world now. Millennials run the world. We're not in power, right? But like, we're 2/3 of the fucking economy. Shut the fuck up, you Gen Xers. Get fucked, baby boomers. You don't get to tell me what to do anymore. I'm not tolerating it. I don't give a fuck. I don't. I get pulled over by police officers that are younger than me. I'm not doing it. Go fuck yourself. This isn't like tough talk
So
on the internet.
You get pulled over. The officer is
like
25, and you're telling him get fucked.
Get fucked, dude.
Get fucked. You're
Do you
not
know
old
your
enough
car's
to
6
pull
months
me over.
overdue?
Do you know
You
that
told
you're
me
too
about-
young to pull me over?
Dude, the last time that I got fucking pulled over was for a bad inspection. He looked at me. He's like, "You know your car's over inspected." I looked at my sticker. I looked at him. I was like, "Yeah." He didn't
You know what's
like
crazy?
that.
I've never once been pulled over in Pennsylvania. I've been pulled over so many times in New York. I've been stopped at checkpoints. Pennsylvania, nope.
They don't
Not
give a
once.
fuck. I'm just saying, dude. Like
Not once.
this notion that like you're gonna keep telling people what to do is gonna end. I'm not doing it anymore.
Well, there's going to be a catalyst, and I don't know what it is.
It's
I'd
gonna
like
be
to say
the
it's-
fucking election, David. It's
well,
Tuesday.
I don't know.
Wednesday morning.
I don't know if it is
Look,
because-
Wednesday morning, I will go live if you want with you. It'd be 4:30 in the fucking morning. I don't care. Because we're gonna know right away. We will know right away.
we're gonna know if there was theft that night, even if there's no call. I mean, there's gonna be stories out there like, oh,
Well,
this happened.
they're gonna have to cheat a graph again, David.
We're going to. Well, here's the thing. You want my election prediction? Here's the thing. One of two things happens. Kamala Harris cheats and wins, or Trump wins by so much it can't be stolen.
Like 2/3 of the vote.
Like Trump gets literally 100 million votes. Because
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
can't steal that.
you're
You're not.
gonna steal that. Nobody believes. No, first of all, nobody believes Joe Biden got over 80 million votes. No, he was like very unlikable. he got more votes than I've said this before, and there's no Democrat who can defend this. Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Obama.
The black guy
Really?
and
As
a
a
woman.
Democrat.
And a woman. And a woman.
As a Democrat, if you talk to a Democrat and you say, really think about that, do you think that you like Biden more than Obama? Nobody likes Biden more than Obama. Joe Biden doesn't like Biden more than Obama. Biden got that many more votes than Obama too. Like, it's like a lot.
And Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton.
More than Obama? Really? I'll even say it. I don't like the guy's politics, but like Obama was a charismatic, likable guy,
Slick,
right?
dude.
There was
Slick,
a lot of the Republicans who had the whole like, oh, would you like to have a beer
Tan
with a
suit.
guy like Barack Obama? Seemed to come up a lot. Yeah, he drone struck kids in Middle East. I get it. He was terrible. A bad president. No doubt. Destroyed, took a bad economy and made it worse for 8 years. It was
Bush's fault.
Remarkable.
Clearly
Remarkable that for 2 terms he blamed the previous president for a bad economy. I get it. Still a likable guy. But that's the thing that Trump has that former Republicans have not had, right? We saw it on the Joe Rogan interview. He's sitting there shooting the shit, talking with Joe, talking about MMA. Like, could you imagine sitting down and watching a football game with like John McCain? No, like he wasn't likable at all. Sit down and watch a football game with Mitt Romney? Not really. I mean, no thanks. I could see myself sitting down with Barack Obama watching a football game and just talking football. You know what I mean?
What about the little bit of blow?
Well, that just makes it more entertaining. Just doesn't mean I like Barack Obama. Doesn't mean I think he was a good president. I just said but he was likable. Joe Biden isn't likable. There's no way Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Obama. Trump, however, is, you can say what you want about his politics. He's a likable guy.
Dude's on fire.
I don't know. Don't buy it. I don't buy it. But I think that's the only way that Trump truly can win is either he wins by so much it can't be stolen, or I don't see any other scenario. I don't see a scenario where Democrats aren't trying to keep him out of office. I mean, if you're gonna try to put him in jail and try to kill him, like you're gonna let him win an election? I don't think so.
I don't know, dude. We will be here for election night. I'll bring extra coffee and probably nap during the day because it's gonna be a long night. But we'll be here. You know, and I told Dave that I kind of feel more of a duty to be more outspoken this time than I was in 2020 because I do feel like I got Trump some votes here locally in 2016. So I've been trying to be more adamant about my Trump support. And I spoke out on Halloween. I made a couple jokes and some people really liked it locally. And I saw a couple of people dressed up as trash bags, and they I
had a neighbor in a trash bag.
Yeah, and the one guy was like, "No, I overheard it. He's like, "No, I'm a garbage man." I was like, "Don't you mean a Trump supporter?" And he's like, "Yeah." And the people were like, "When are you going to vote?" And I said, "Oh, I vote on election day like a real American." And they're like, "Well, if you vote early, they don't get to steal it." I looked at him. I was like,
"Did you see the ballot box on fire?"
I said, "If they're gonna steal it, it doesn't matter when you vote." As if voting early,
they won't steal it if I vote early.
David, as if Joseph Stalin would count it and make it matter if it was fucking a day early or a day fucking later. You guys are look, I know that we're in America. There's fucking tyrants. Tyranny is a thing. This always happens. It's happened every time. I am not fucking dumb enough to think it's not going to happen in America in my lifetime when people have trouble keeping their dick straight.
It's completely human nature.
It's completely human nature, and we're in a point that we have the most wealth ever with the most food ever. We can be fat and do anything. You can be a fucking cat and dog. We don't know what to do with all the great shit we fucking have. Are you serious? I don't have to tolerate this.
You guys don't know what
you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Not everybody needs to vote. You guys are retarded. Fuck, I barely need to know how to vote. They got vegan shoes, David. You can't even get real leather. Okay, my mom bought Skechers. It said right on the box, vegan, with a sticker, vegan. I was like, what the fuck's that mean? It's made out of fake leather. Get to pay the same price for the shoe, David, but I get lesser quality than I did a generation ago. This reminds me of that conversation I had a few weeks ago about this, about the Twinkies and how they're smaller.
Mhm.
I have to work harder for money that's worth less to buy a product that costs more for lesser quality. Inflation isn't just a dollar thing. It kills quality. That's actually the serious downfall of inflation. We're not even getting the same thing for the same price. It's actually lesser value. There's less chips in the bag. The shoes are made with lesser quality. The recyclable plastic made fucking polystyrene recyclable clothes, you have to buy twice as many. So it's not sustainable if I have to buy twice as many shirts in my lifetime. Vegan fucking shoes, dude. I can't. Do you think Bill Gates is wearing vegan leather, David?
Well, he's he's the world's biggest farmer, so he probably has leather shoes.
That's weird how that works. I'm sure all the millionaires are just wearing the same vegan leather as me, right? Oh yeah, we're the same. Oh,
You know, vegans
no
are
difference.
anti
No
bees.
difference. Yeah, no difference. That's weird. No difference, David. The billionaires are gonna wear the recyclable clothing too, surely. They're not gonna buy the real cotton shirts made with real Egyptian cotton from the earth with a frequency on it. But they have direct energy weapons. Energy doesn't matter, Dave. Energy on particles isn't real. The clothes you wear don't increase your energy or frequency. They just have direct particle beams that can shoot out fucking rockets out of the air.
Those are fiber lasers, right?
God's not real, though, David. Jewish space lasers for the fucking bingo board of 2024. Finally. Vegan shoes. Russia sues Google is hilarious. Halloween story. Stop letting your 14-year-old girls dress up as 21-year-old sluts. I'm sick and tired of seeing it when I'm trying to fucking trick or treat with my family. Leave your hoe-ass daughters at home. And I know that your mom and your dad did not buy you that fucking costume. You probably told them you were going as fucking a Harry Potter character and put that shit on underneath it. Miss Little Devil. Fucking slutting out children. Fucking hoes, dude. There's 304s at 13, dude. There was always sluts when we were kids, but you know what?
Yeah,
We didn't have Instagram.
You know, the thing that's interesting looking back, though, like when we were 14, slutty 14-year-olds was kind of cool. In your 30s? Just thinking about, like, you have a daughter and, like, just thinking about it that way, like, you don't raise sluts. Come on.
Yeah, no, do better.
Bring back slut shaming hardcore.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Fat shaming and slut shaming needs to come back. And guys need to start getting called players, not fuckboys, because you know
And
what? It takes a lot of skill.
By the way, slut shaming, fat shaming, it's not being mean. It's for like the betterment of them and society.
Yeah, sorry. I want you to like be able to see your dick your whole life and live. Sorry if the roof. Seriously, I told you guys this. When I go in a room and I look like, oh, if there's a fire and I'm knocked unconscious, like I'm the only person fit enough to drag everybody out of the fucking building. But don't listen to me.
Well, Ryan, if you want to not have depression, surely you go to people with depression.
David, I'm like one of the very few fit people in my entire community that can even like save them from anything. Not that I even have the skills, that I can run, like literally run. Do you understand? And I don't get listened to. I can run. You people can't even run. You guys can't run down the street after your kid. If your kid gets kidnapped, you're fucked. But you don't listen to me. I'm told that I'm this thing. Or the internet censors us, David, because of mail information. Google can't run. The fat fuck on the other side of Google censoring me can't run either.
I would way rather you get fat shamed into being thin than you never get fat shamed and then you get robbed and you can't get your wallet back.
Yeah, I've seen videos of women's strollers getting rolled down the street and she was so fat she couldn't go save her own kids.
Well,
Somebody had to run and save the kid.
And to the same thing, I'd rather somebody slut shames you your whole life so you become not a slut than you get raped in an alley.
Well, here's the thing. With birth control, they don't got to worry about getting fucking pregnant, dude.
Am I the bad guy?
Like, nobody cares about AIDS anymore. That's the other thing. Like, I think part of slut shaming was birth control wasn't so rampant and HIV was out there. So like part of slut shaming was trying to fucking not give everybody STDs. And I think there was just more people wore condoms. Had to. I don't know.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Paris wins. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, get a boy. I'm never.
Let's be.
I don't even. I'm not even gonna ask anymore. I'm not even asking anymore.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tony Hitchcliffe.
Ask if I have one. I don't. Harris won the election. Sorry.
Tony Hitchcliffe.
Yeah, the floating garbage.
Look, I agree with Rogan. Probably shouldn't have a comedian at a political rally.
I think that's exactly what we need. I 100%. I would pack it with only comedians.
I sent you the Shane Gillis thing that he says if we go to World War III, it's all Tony Hinchcliffe's fault because Trump doesn't win. God. Imagine if that's what it comes down to, is a Joe Rogan interview and Joe Rogan's friend making a pile of garbage remark. Trump filled Madison Square Garden. Pretty gnarly.
Just
Kamala
like the
Harris.
Nazis. Just like the Nazis, Ryan.
Yeah, Kamala Harris was not on Rogan, David.
That's weird. Well, tomorrow's Monday, so there's still time before the election.
Okay, and Rogan said that what they wanted to have happen was Kamala Harris wanted Joe Rogan to go to him. He could only do 30 minutes or 40 minutes and had to have pre-questions. He's like, I'm not doing that. I want you to come here. I want you to be a person. I'm not going to make an attack on it. This is more just reporting the weekly news here that it's exactly as you fucking thought.
See, the thing with that, like, I get other shows. There's certain media outlets and they do that kind of thing, and that's fine. But like Rogan's whole thing is like, it could be 2 hours, it could be 8 hours, it might be whatever. It might be about comedy, it might be about MMA. Kamala Harris doesn't have those chops. Donald Trump can go on for 3 hours and talk about MMA and fucking hotels that he built and fucking all types of shit. Kamala Harris cannot do that. Absolutely not. She has no chance. Could you imagine Kamala Harris going on Trump and on Rogan and saying anything along the lines of whale psychology? There's no shot. Kamala Harris can barely do 5 minutes, let alone 4 hours.
Trump
no
is
chance.
So funny. Dude,
her first interview, she had to go on with Tim Walz because she couldn't do 20 minutes with CNN or wherever the fuck it was, MSNBC or some shit. You had to split it with Tim Walz. You couldn't answer questions on your own for a half hour. And it had to be pre-taped. And then you had to make some edits. And you had to have the questions ahead of time. Are you kidding me? Ryan, we wouldn't... I'm sorry, but maybe it's bad. I have higher expectations for our presidential candidates than ourselves. I know for a fact, me or you could go bullshit with somebody for 10 hours on camera. It doesn't matter. We could just go all day. It's irrelevant.
Yeah, I could go to Rogan and do our show on Rogan, just the way it is. Like you and I go up there with a little notepad of topics I want to cover. I could do the show on Rogan.
But Kamala needs it to be pre-taped, and it has to be 40 minutes, and she needs the questions ahead of time. I'm sorry, no. You're a presidential candidate. What am I supposed to do on the world stage when you have to go battle it out with Putin? You're going to have conversations. You're going to have diplomatic conversations with Putin. What are you going to do? Request that it's 20 minutes and you have his questions ahead of time? It's not how the world works.
It is if a woman runs it, David.
No,
maybe
it's not, because the world still is dominated by men, as it should be, because men don't need pre-taped questions for 15-minute interviews. I'm sorry. You can't. No. Somebody needs to tell her no. Wipe her nose in it. You cannot run the country if you need to have questions ahead of time from Joe Rogan.
Dave
you are
really
not qualified.
About fucking never wrapping his dick again when Kamala Harris wins.
I'm not doing it. It's going in raw. I don't care.
Fuck these people.
Fuck these people. It's so bad. No.
Dave's gonna be a billionaire. I cannot wait for billionaire Dave to just be like, look.
But you think Elon's crazy? Billionaire Dave would be fucking...
Yo, I seen some Dana White videos today about him just telling everybody to lick his ass, and it's epic.
You think I give no fucks now? Imagine me as a billionaire.
I got 2 words for you,
Crazy.
IRS, right here. Grant Cardone, dude. Fucking great.
Crazy. Grant Cardone's close to what I would be as a billionaire. He's almost there. He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'd be somewhere between Tate and Grant Cardone, probably. Megan
Dave,
Fox with a
I need
dick.
questions. Fuck off. I need questions. I got 2
Um,
questions right here. Send her my dick. Fucking panoramic so you can see it all. Fuck off.
Rogan getting blacklisted with a Trump interview. I'm gonna say it again. They do it to everybody. You actually get to see him. We caught him. They denied it. We caught him. Type in Trump Rogan. It doesn't show you the full podcast on top. You gotta scroll to find it.
Are you?
That's what we mean about shadow ban. That's what we mean about block. It's not in the top first fucking page of Google. Like Google.
It's a 40+ million watched video. It should be on the front page before I even search it. 40 million views?
Small fringe. In 8 days, David.
Could you imagine
know,
trying to find Mr. Beast's channel and not being able to? Like, it's
That's
what are we
that's a
talking about? This is
good-
crazy.
good point, David. I don't even think Mr. Beast gets 44 million views in 8 days.
No, it's tough
Look
because
at
this shit
pull
gets
it. Pull it.
it's all like, well, it's like,
Pull it.
I guarantee it's more than that, but his shit's like global all the time. He's made a here. I'll go to YouTube.
All right, but even if he is global, this will give a even better representation because I think the Trump interview is going to look better than you think.
So, do you want me to go to
The same thing, most popular,
most popular,
same-
sort it, even though
same
it's not
thing-
accurate? Okay,
same thing we did with Rogan.
that's too loud. Okay, videos, popular. Dude, I think you're underestimating Mr. Beast.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
His videos are fucking huge.
I know he spends millions to.
Okay, you can see it?
Yeah, 665 million 2 years ago.
65 million views. That's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, he's fucking
How many
huge.
subs
That
does he
is-
have?
It's like 300 million or something, isn't it? 327 million.
Wow.
Mr. Beast is huge. Like he's big. But to your point, Ryan, he spends millions of dollars producing content. Joe Rogan does not.
$0. He built that place, was like, all right, pay the electric bill. Just saying.
I don't
dude.
think Mr. Beast probably realistically spends more money on each video than Rogan spent building his studio.
And the electric bill. 100%. Dude, there's no edits. Rogan just cut. They just cut. There's not even a graphic on the fucking screen.
Yeah, he's got that spinning face thing with a song for like 12 seconds.
Oh, the same one he's had for 10 years that was already made?
I do think that's partially what's so impressive about Rogan, though. It's literally just him and who the fuck ever, and they're getting like millions of views.
Yeah,
Great,
man.
not pre-scripted. We don't plan anything. There's no content. Like you show up, we'll have a conversation, we'll film it. Tens of millions of views. That's insane.
I just got a couple things, David. Election news: New Hampshire may be a swing state. Pennsylvania may swing heavy this year as well, too. I'm hearing, David. I don't know. It's just don't trust the polls.
PA's
PA's
a lot like
yes.
New York. It's a little more. It's very red if you look at it, but it's actually a blue state. And what I mean by that is, if you were to look at the little thing that breaks it down by county, it's like it's fucking red, and then there's like 2 blue dots, and that's Pennsylvania. And New York's the same way. It's red and then a blue dot. But unfortunately, the blue dot is like millions of people. So that means all the people in my part of Pennsylvania have to live like people in fucking Philadelphia. It's the craziest shit. It's the whole purpose of the Electoral College. And, well, whatever.
Oh, we got to get rid of that, David. Can't have that.
We got to get rid of it. You can't have people living differently throughout the country. Surely
Everybody's
someone
gotta
in
be the same, dude.
surely someone in like fucking Montana should have to live like somebody in New York City, Ryan.
The Bills game was great. The JD Vance Rogan interview was great. But what was not great, David, was my cell phone experience this week.
Oh no, what'd you do, Ryan?
My phone got broke.
Got broke.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but I didn't break it, but it got broke.
Okay. Well, I can only assume not to point fingers, but you do have a daughter.
Negative.
Oh, she did not break it. Oh. Crazy X. Oh, there it is. There it is. A little bit of domestic. I would have sent a police officer to help you, but he's younger than you, so.
Yeah, me too, but my phone was thrown.
Because Ryan, I know you're listen, you're many things, but if I need a good
bad at relationships, yes.
if I need a good
yes,
domestic abuse situation, I'm calling a police officer because nobody's better at it than they are.
I was told the only people with worse relationships than electricians were cops, David. So luckily for me, I'm trying to be a police officer next.
I don't know, but I could if I had $1 for every fucking car dealership employee that divorced somebody who worked at a hair salon, I'd be Elon Musk.
Yo, the salesman with the hairdresser's got to be an old one. It's kind of like the fucking mistress that ends up, the house cleaner. She becomes from stepdaddy to daddy.
I hope Harris wins. I do. I'm not house cleaner.
Yeah,
it's not rapping. Sorry.
Nope, nothing. No, it's
having
not
a
even
little-
mine.
You're having little cleaner babies.
I'm not paying taxes either. I came to that realization. I'm not paying taxes either. I'm going to claim 13 dependents, and the government can suck my fucking dick forever. I don't give me for tax evasion. I don't give a fuck.
Million dependents.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. And then when I have my tax proceeding down there, I'm going to tell them that the government's my dependent. Like,
Yeah, how many people are in government?
So I got an iPhone 13, David, which is 3 years old now because they have the 16 now with their Apple Intelligence. And I used to like cell
Not
phones a
good.
lot back in the day before I understood more about life and whatever. So I don't care about having new technology. I always try to buy older phones. So I look at the iPhone 15 and I look at the 14 and I look at the 16 and the price. And the difference in price is like $3.
Perfect. You got a 16. Love it.
Well, I'm getting there. I'm exploring my options, right? It all happened today. So I was like kind of calling. I was on the phone with all these people. I have insurance too. So I might just take and get my phone replaced and then just ride it out again until it gets thrown or something.
Oh, fuck that insurance. They want a deductible and shit. Nah, I'm just buying a phone.
Yeah. I don't know.
$100?
So,
No chance. I'm buying a phone.
dude, but it was just
$1,300.
so crazy. I'm like, oh, I'll get the lesser model. And it's like, dude, it's just engine. It's just the whole world's a Ponzi scheme. The only thing that you're getting for a better quality for less money is technology. Everything else is opposite. And then the thing that I'm getting better quality for less money doesn't last as long. It's just, I'm fucking over it. I'm over this. I need my phone. It's not even like most people say that, but I'm not checking Instagram, bitch. I actually fucking need it. I need to be able to make phone calls in the middle of a field and take pictures and have, this is just, I shoot the pot on it. It's part of my creative, like this apparatus. I need it. And I will do what I have to maintain it, but it just becomes exhausting. I'm over it. I wish we could just like unplug it or just stop. I wish we could just make a phone and stop here and just be like, this is as good as it needs to be. We can maintain it and just get off the fucking carousel, So, but that's not the way it is. So,
modular phone would be interesting. Like you could replace like the RAM or the CPU as needs get greater. That'd be weird.
yeah, I mean, why don't you just make like the screen and then like, they have those phone cases with extended batteries. Why don't we start doing that with the phone?
Oh, you just swap the actual internals out, but you keep the screen. That's interesting.
I mean,
Like literally the
'cause-
screen just
'cause-
slides and snaps into place.
Now, granted, this is only going to work even if that's the thing. You might only be able to get that for like 2 or 3 years. Because when I looked at the difference in iPhones, the 16 and the 15 has the same camera, the same OLED screen, the same resolution. The only difference is 16 has Apple Intelligence and it has a fucking button to take a picture.
Yeah,
Which, whatever.
Samsung did the
Maybe,
same thing. The 23,
yeah,
24, they're basically the same phone.
right. Which may be a great thing. I'm for all I know, Apple Intelligence literally is this monumental thing. It's great, and the little button probably helpful. Great. I'm not downplaying the phone, but like in the grand scheme of things, when I looked at it, like we're already at the same point that it takes like 3 or 4 years for the real guts of the phone to change. So why not build them that way? You buy a console every 10 years. You can buy an extended hard drive for it. Why aren't we building shit like that?
I think just
But
because
I know why. I know why. It's
well-
probably easier and faster and better to do it the way we do it. Or it's a good business model. I don't fucking know. But I'm over I'm over it. I guess I'm just gonna get a new phone because I was thinking the camera might be better for the pod. I might have more and it's just like, God, I'm over it. I'm just fucking over it. You know, and I just paid this phone off earlier this year. You know what I mean? This always happens. I pay the phone off and then like within a year I break it. So I don't know. I'm just tired of the Ponzi schemes. As always, Dave Ryan, December 17th, 73. Catch us on Rumble for the greatest podcast in all of human history. As always, David, I appreciate you most for your time. I'll see everybody next time. Oh, Election Tuesday. David and I will be there to catch them stealing this shit in real time. And if I get pulled off the internet, YouTube, I will be suing you for $2 quadrillion.
2 undecillion or 20 decillion, which is the same, or
I'm gonna.
however many trillion that was.
And if they don't want to give me it in dollars, David, they can give it to me in Dogecoin and or Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, as always, I'll see you guys
I'll
later.
take it in Tate's got his own coins.
It's called
Takes
Daddy
Tate
Coin
coin.
or something.
Well, there's Daddy Coin. There's another one.
Is it the N word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, here's the thing with the N word. Everyone can say it, and that's fine. It doesn't mean you should. But in theory, Ryan, it's the name of the coin.
Dude, in theory, everybody should just say it and get it out of your system. And then just be a respectable adult. It's just the same shit with the fag word. It's inappropriate. You shouldn't do it. Go do it. Kendrick Lamar's got a song about this. Just go do it. Get it over with. You realize how dumb it was. We fucking move on. The reason it's coming back is because you crack so damn hard on the freedom of speech that you just can't let people say retard without getting offended. So now we're all going to say retard all the time.
Did I tell you this story? Whatever. We'll get out of here. But did I ever tell you the story? And this isn't like I had a black friend. This is an actual story with one of my black friends growing up. We were sitting around with a couple of his black friends who I didn't know, and out of the blue, one of them goes, "Just say it." I'm like, "Say what?" He's like, "Say it." You know what I mean? Just say it. I'm like, I kicked in my head after he said it the second time. I'm not going to say it. He's like, "I know you say it when we're around. Just say it." I'm like, all right. I say it, and they all like give me a dead stare, like one of these. And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And they're like, "Nah, we fucking with you. You good?" I thought I was about to get mauled.
Just say
it, man.
Just 6'6" black guys stomping the shit out of you. All right, Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble, greatest podcast ever. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody. Oh,
Thanks.
Go Trump. Go vote. Vote or die. If you don't vote, vote or die. If your wife votes, make
That's
sure
a Diddy
Trump.
phrase. You can't say that.
Yo, I am not vote or die. Vote for Diddy parties or die. I'm not fighting World War III. I'm not pulling out anymore if Kamala wins. Abortions for all. As always, David. I'll see you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Kamala for president. I'm sick of pulling out.
Oh my god, love it. Greatest podcast.
Greatest podcast history.